Hey, RobAlexanderHealth.com is the site. I'm just sitting here thinking about light. I wrote a blog post yesterday about kind of light coming into the eye because I tend to think, and I think most people think about vision being us looking out, whereas in actuality, these eyes are holes in our head that let light in. And vision lets our conscious mind navigate our environment, but also the other mechanism that's happening is that light is communicating with our brain about what biochemical mechanisms to engage relative to the environment that we're in. So, if that makes sense, what I'm saying is that simultaneously as you're looking out to see what your environment is like so you can navigate it, move around it, the light that's coming in is helping your biology navigate it by allowing for the expression of different hormones and chemicals and all these biological mechanisms that kind of navigate the environment internally without just our conscious recognition of it. So our body is constantly asking, where am I? What situation am I in? And then trying to acclimate to that environment as best as possible. And the fastest way that it does that is through light, because literally light is coming in through the eye, directly being presented to your brain directly. And this is why, if you understand this story, you understand why fake light, and especially light that is from energy efficient light, which just means it's had more frequency stripped out of it, never in human history has a brain. We basically don't have a category neurologically in terms of an environment to understand biochemically what environment we're in. So our brain doesn't know how to flick the switches in our body to adapt to that environment because it doesn't have the mechanisms to categorically decide where we are. This is why it causes so many misfirings, because the body's just guessing, like, there's tons of blue light. The closest thing in nature to blue light is morning, so I'll wake up, is the obvious one with sleep, and why fake light kind of destroys your sleep. But this is the real essence of circadian biology, is the idea that light is always expressing various frequencies, and these light frequencies are expressing time. Essentially, our concept of time has to be correlated to light. And so it's no wonder to me when people's bodies are not expressing themselves at the right time. Meaning, if you do different blood work and tests of hormones and different things, you may do a test and show, oh, there's hormones are low. Maybe they're just being expressed at the wrong time. They might be low in a cycle. An easy way to do this, most people know about melatonin. Well, if you measure melatonin at different times, it's going to have different levels. So if you measure it at one time, it's going to show low. Another time it may be high, and that's totally fine. Anyways, check out the blog post. It's Rob Alexander Health. Start to reframe your perspective on light in terms of how it enters your brain and the eye and the effects that might be having. Anybody dealing with sleep, anxiety, stress, whenever your body can't figure out where it is, it gets stressed out. And so the light environment essentially causes the body to not know where it is, because it only knows where it is, evolutionarily speaking, in terms of nature. So it says, where in nature am I? And then it realizes, oh, I'm not in nature. Where am I? I haven't evolved for the environment that I'm in, and it freaks out. Some people view this as exciting. Other people look at it as the excitatory mechanisms are then stressful, lead to anxiety, all these other states, sleeplessness. Changes the game in terms of explaining why our society needs THC, alcohol, melatonin, all kinds of pharmaceutical drugs, any number of other things in order to sleep. I think sleep is just a basic tell. So if you can't sleep, and ask your practitioners, how well do you sleep? Don't take health advice from anybody who can't sleep without a substance. That's just my advice. Why? Because that to me is a basic tell if they know anything about health. If you have to chemically alter your situation in order to disengage these mechanisms from the outside, it means you don't know how to engage them from the inside. And I'm saying those mechanisms are there. They're just not being triggered because the light environment is bad. Now look at the light environment in your hospitals, doctors' offices, chiropractors, naturopaths. Check it out. Start to put two and two together and realize the light environment has changed dramatically in the past 5 years. So have all kinds of other health effects. Notice I have not mentioned what you're eating at all in this whole talk. But anyways, sorry, long video. I'm just here doing my calibration 5 times a day, 5 minutes minimum, facing the light. It calibrates my clock. Sleeping like a baby. All right.